Tesla just announced it's shutting down car production at one of the biggest factories in the entire United States, and nobody saw it coming. Not the workers, not the local government. This announcement came out of nowhere and shocked everyone. The Fremont Factory in California has been building Teslas for over a decade, over 10,000 workers at its peak, hundreds of thousands of Model S and Model X cars rolling off that line every single year. This wasn't just any factory. This was the backbone of Tesla in America. One of the most iconic car plants this country has ever seen. The place where Tesla proved electric vehicles could work, where they built their reputation, where they became a household name. The factory that changed the entire automotive industry. For years, this plant was the symbol of everything Tesla stood for. Innovation, clean energy, the future of transportation. Millions of people drove past it, knowing that inside those walls, history was being made. Electric cars weren't just a dream anymore. They were real. They were being built right there in California, and Tesla was leading the charge. But Elon Musk just announced he's ending it all. No more Model S, no more Model X. The factory that built Tesla's legacy is being converted to build something completely different. Robots. Not just a few. 1 million humanoid robots every single year. Machines that walk, talk, and work. Machines designed to replace the very workers who built Tesla from the ground up. And those workers? They're getting elimination letters. Thousands of them. Their jobs vanished overnight because Elon decided the future isn't cars anymore. It's automation. But this didn't happen by accident. There's a reason Elon is willing to walk away from over a decade of history in California. And if you understand the years of tension between Elon Musk and the state of California, this move starts to make perfect sense. Stay with me, because you're about to see how years of battles, public fights, and political clashes led to this exact moment. This isn't just about business. This is personal. Musk and California have been at war for years. But this didn't just happen overnight. This latest move? It's the final blow in a fight that's been building for a long time. Years of tension, years of back and forth, years of Elon pushing boundaries and California pushing back. And at some point, it stopped being about regulations or taxes. It became personal. Both sides dug in. Both sides refused to back down. And now we're seeing how it all ends. It started back in 2020. COVID hit. The entire country locked down. Businesses were ordered to close. People were told to stay home. And California told Tesla they had to shut down the Fremont factory. Health orders, safety protocols. Everyone had to comply. No exceptions. The state wasn't asking. They were telling. Elon said no. He said others could leave if they wanted, but he was staying. And he was keeping the factory open. Dared the state to arrest him, called the lockdown orders fascist, and threatened to move Tesla out of California completely if they didn't back off. It was a full-blown public fight between one of the world's richest men and the governor of California. And Newsom blinked. Tesla stayed open. Governor Newsom's response was diplomatic when reporters asked him about Elon relocating. It was the kind of carefully worded statement you'd expect from a politician trying to keep the peace. Calm, measured, trying not to escalate things further. He praised Tesla, said he had great reverence for their technology, their innovative spirit, their leadership. He talked about how he's known the company for years, how he's watched them grow from a small startup into a global powerhouse that changed the entire automotive industry. And then he suggested they could work through it at the county level, find solutions, keep Tesla in California, where it started. Newsom emphasized the years of history between California and Tesla. He pointed out that the state had supported Tesla from day one. Tax incentives, infrastructure, regulatory help. California helped build Tesla into what it became, and both sides benefited. Newsom said he looked forward to continuing that partnership for decades to come. He praised Tesla's technology and leadership again. Then he pivoted to solutions, said they could work through tensions at the county level, that local governments could step in and address concerns, keep the lines of communication open, keep the relationship strong. It was the response of a governor trying to hold on to one of his state's biggest success stories. But words weren't going to be enough. Thousands of workers are paying the price now. And it wasn't even the state that ordered the shutdown. It was Alameda County. Local officials who thought they could tell one of the world's most powerful companies what to do. Elon fought them in court, threatened to move Tesla immediately if they didn't back down, and eventually they caved. But the damage was done. Elon had already seen what California was willing to do, and he started planning his exit. A former worker said he didn't get any warning about the layoffs. No meetings, no announcements, no hints that anything was wrong. Just a letter in the mail one day telling him his position had been eliminated. After years of dedication, years of showing up every single day, years of believing he was building the future, all of it ended with a piece of paper in an envelope. After 5 years at Tesla, one worker showed up for his shift as usual. He went to swipe his badge at the entrance. Access denied. Security informed him he'd been laid off. No call from management, no email, no warning. He just arrived at work and found out at the door that his job no longer existed. 5 years of dedication. And that's how it ended. These aren't just numbers. These are real people. Families who spent years building cars at that factory, who believed in Tesla's mission, who thought they had job security. Now they're scrambling to figure out what comes next. The local economy is taking a massive hit too. When you lose 3,000 jobs from a single factory, it doesn't just stop there. It ripples out. Local businesses lose customers. Tax revenue drops. The money the city counted on to fund schools and services is gone. Entire communities that relied on those Tesla paychecks are now struggling to stay afloat. California isn't just losing workers, it's losing billions in economic activity, jobs that paid well, tax revenue that funded the state, an entire industry that California helped build from the ground up, and all of it is walking out the door with Elon Musk, going to Texas, going to states that wanted Tesla more than California did. But here's what most people don't know. The thing that finally pushed Elon over the edge wasn't just about taxes or COVID restrictions. It was a law. A B, 1955. Governor Newsom signed it in 2024. And what it does is prevent schools from informing parents if their child identifies as a different gender at school. Teachers can't tell you. Administrators can't tell you. The school keeps it from you unless the child gives permission. Elon went public about it, called it the final straw. He has multiple children. And the idea that California schools could keep something that significant from parents without their knowledge or consent? That crossed a line he wasn't willing to accept. He'd already warned Newsom about it a year before the law was even signed. Told him directly that laws like this would force families and companies to leave California. That it wasn't just about business anymore. It was deeper than that. It was about protecting kids, about parental rights, about fundamental values. He wasn't willing to compromise. He gave Newsom a chance to listen, a chance to reconsider, a chance to understand that this would have consequences. And when Newsom signed it anyway, Elon packed up and left, moved SpaceX headquarters to Texas, moved X headquarters to Texas, pulled billions in operations out of California, and made it crystal clear to everyone why he was doing it. This wasn't about taxes. This wasn't about regulations. This was about a line that had been crossed. This wasn't about finding cheaper labor or lower taxes anymore. This was personal. California had pushed him too far, not just on regulations, not just on lockdowns, but on something that hit way closer to home, his family, his kids, the people he's responsible for protecting. And he wasn't going to stay in a state that he felt was undermining parents, a state that put policies in place that went against everything he believed about raising children. He'd had enough. The breaking point wasn't a tax hike or a business regulation. It was this. And once that line was crossed, there was no going back. This wasn't about cheaper labor or lower taxes anymore. This was personal. California pushed too far. Not just with regulations, not just with lockdowns, but with something that hit close to home. His family, his kids. And he wasn't staying in a state he felt was undermining parents. That was the line. Once California crossed it, Elon was done. From Elon's perspective, this isn't revenge. This is just what happens when a state makes it impossible for him to stay. Years of tension, COVID lockdowns, public fights, tax policies, and finally, a law about parental rights that Elon said crossed the line. All of it added up, and California kept thinking they had time to fix it. That Tesla was too embedded in the state to actually leave. They were wrong. Elon moved the headquarters, built massive factories in Texas, and now he's converting the Fremont plant into a robot factory. Thousands of workers are getting elimination letters. Billions in tax revenue are disappearing. Jobs are gone. An entire industry California helped create is leaving, and the state that helped build Tesla from the ground up is watching it all walk away. Newsom tried to keep the relationship alive, but by the time he was offering solutions, Elon had already checked out. California pushed too hard for too long. And now they're dealing with the fallout. The jobs are gone. The factory is being gutted, and the electric vehicle revolution that was supposed to define California's future is now unfolding elsewhere. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button, drop a comment, and follow for more stories like this.